Good morning, religious dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the inaugural session of the Undergraduate Research Congress 2025 of the Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya. And also, we would like to welcome all those joining us online via the official YouTube channel and the Facebook channels of the University of Peradeniya. This Congress is more than just a gathering. It is the result of months of dedication and teamwork. It is truly heartening to see how our students have poured their effort, creativity, and passion into their research and writing.
Each paper and presentation reflects the curiosity and commitment that makes this faculty so special. Today, we set out together on a journey of discovery and exploration. We will delve into new ideas, connect different perspectives, and celebrate the power of young minds to shape the world through knowledge and creativity.
Lighting the oil lamp is a symbolic gesture, one that signifies the dispelling of darkness and ushering of knowledge and wisdom. I now invite the following dignitaries to kindly step forward for the lighting of the oil lamp.
Professor Terence Madhujit, the Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya, Professor Ranjit Pallegama, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya, Dr. Prabhat Ekanayaka, the Dean, Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya, Mr. Ranjit Vimalasuriya, the keynote speaker, representing all deans of the faculties, Professor Shyama Banekar, the Dean, Faculty of Dental Sciences, University of Peradeniya, Professor Vasant Atukorala, the Director of Postgraduate Institute of Humanities and Social Sciences, University of Peradeniya, representing all heads of departments, Professor Abhay Ratnayaka, the Acting Head, Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies, Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya,
Professor Mahinda Herath, the Chairperson of Research and Development Unit, Faculty of Arts, Mr. Tushara Kamal Ratna, the Chairperson of Undergraduate Research Congress, Faculty of Arts 2025, Professor Sumedha Jayatilaka, the Proctor, University of Peradeniya, Ms. Tushari Amarasinghe, Deputy Registrar, Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya, Mr. Yenuka Pahalage, Acting Assistant Bursa, Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya, Mr. R. Maheshwaran, the Librarian, University of Peradeniya, Dr. HMCL Herath, the Chief Medical Officer, University of Peradeniya, Mr. Mahesh Abhay Vikrama, the Public Relations Officer, University of Peradeniya, and one participant representing all the presenters.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the university anthem.
Thank you. To officially begin the proceedings, now I invite Mr. Tushara Kamalratne, the chairperson of Undergraduate Research Congress 2025, Faculty of Arts, to the podium to invite the distinguished guests to the head table and to deliver the welcome speech and open remarks.
Thank you very much, Budisha. So, good morning, Reverend Sirs, ladies and gentlemen. Really happy to see your smile faces today, and it's a wonderful day and perfect day for a Congress. Starting the inauguration, let me invite to our guest of honor and keynote speakers to the head table. May I invite cordially Professor Terence Madhujit, the Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya, guest of honor and keynote speakers today, to the head table, sir. Professor Anjit Pallegama, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya. Dr. Prabhat Ekanayaka, the Dean, Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya. Mr. Anjit Vimalasuriya, the District Secretary, Anuradhapura, one of keynote speakers today. We are so glad to hear you today, sir. And Professor Mahinda Hera, the Chairperson of Research and Development Unit, Faculty of Arts. Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone again. I'm indeed honored to be here as the chairperson of the Undergraduate Research Congress of the Faculty of Arts 2025. This year, we mark the 6th Research Congress organized by the Faculty of Arts, which is the largest faculty of the University of Peradeniya in terms of number of students and the departments. This Research Congress marks a significant milestone in the faculty calendar, embracing the team spirit and the overall dedication of everyone involved in the organization. The Undergraduate Research Congress, Faculty of Arts, provides a platform for final year undergraduates of the Faculty of Arts to showcase their research and gain experience in a professional conference atmosphere where intellectual discussions and conversations are encouraged. This time, we have 733 final year research presentation scheduled for today to be presented at 18 departments, including the BCom degree program. As scheduled, most departments will assess students' research presentation today by an academic panel from the respective departments. The electronic version of the proceedings is now available and will be launched shortly, providing all presenters will access to their publications. The organizing committee, we decided not to print books complying with the green policy. And actually, those proceedings, we know that the undergraduate, they can use for their professional purposes. Literally, many of them, they might have a fresh publication before they are leaving the university. This time, the organizing committee decided to invite 2 keynote speakers reflecting research and practice. Accordingly, we invited Professor Terence Madhujit, the Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya, to reflect the research perspective, whereas Mr. Ranjit Vimalasuriya, the District Secretary, Anuradhapura, will reflect on the challenges of the public sector, which will be important to graduates, as many of them enter the public service after graduation. So with that note, let me welcome you all formally. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to welcome the following guests and members of the university. Professor Terence Madhujit, the Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya, today our guest of honor and one of keynote speakers. Professor Ranjit Pallegama, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya. Dr. Prabhat Ekanayaka, the Dean, Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya. Mr. Ranjit Vimalasuriya, District Secretary, Anuradhapura, thank you for coming here all the way. And all the deans of faculties, Professor Vasantha Tukorala, the Director of Postgraduate Institute of Humanities and Social Sciences, all the heads of departments, Professor Mahinda Herath, the Chairperson of Research and Development Unit, Faculty of Arts, all the academic staff of the Faculty of Arts and the University of Peradeniya, Mr. K.B. Damunupola, the Acting Registrar, University of Peradeniya, Mr. A.M.N.B. Arampath, the Bursa, University of Peradeniya, Mr. R. Maheshwaran, the Librarian, University of Peradeniya, Dr. H.M.C.L. Herath, the Chief Medical Officer, Professor Sumaya Jayatilaka, the Proctor, University of Peradeniya, Mr. Mahesh Abevikrama, the Public Relations Officer, University of Peradeniya, Ms. H.N.T.N. Amarasena, Deputy Registrar, Faculty of Arts, Ms. P.K. Herath, Deputy Registrar, Faculty of Arts, Mr. Yanuka Pahalage, Deputy Bursa, Faculty of Arts, and all final year students who will present their work today at respective departments. I know maybe many of you are excited to share your final year research projects today, and we congratulate you all. And all academic support and non-academic staff members. Last not least, my super strong organizing committee. They did a great job during last 3 weeks, because we had only 3 weeks to organize this conference, and they worked day and night. I welcome you all. And finally, I wish you all a productive and fruitful day ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we extend a warm invitation to our esteemed Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Dr. Prabhat Ekanayaka, to grace us with his wisdom and address our distinguished gathering.
Okay, thank you very much. Very good morning, all of you. I'm glad to be here on the wonderful moment organized by the Faculty of Arts. So, Vice Chancellor, sir, thank you very much for gracing this occasion. I know, sir, how you dedicated and committed to give us the permission to have this wonderful event. You know that we spent, actually, Vice Chancellor approved 2 nearly 5 million rupees to conduct this research activity. Big money compared to other faculties. Of course, we have majority of the student, high number of the student, but still it's a big money compared to allocation of the university. Thank you very much, sir, for your continuing support to the faculty and also toward the development of academic and research activities. Professor Ranjit Pallegama, Deputy Vice Chancellor, thank you very much, sir. Your commitment and dedication and guidance towards the faculty. And especially Mr. Ranjit Vikramasuriya, proud alumni of our faculty. He 1 year senior to me. And you can see undergraduate student over here. They are the role models, example where we can achieve as administrators in the top level. Even Chief Secretary of the North Central Province, proud alumni of our faculty, and same batch. You are working together, right, in there. So they are the example you can get and you can achieve that level nationally and internationally. Especially, I welcome all the head of the department, deans and professors, especially administrative officers for this monument occasion of the Faculty of Arts. This is the peak event. You know, final year research is the multidisciplinary one, especially humanities and social sciences are representing here. Actually, I'm very happy to see the full of this hall. You are in the right time to get that training. That's why we are organizing this event, as Dr. Tushara Kamalratne mentioned. They have to organize within 2-3 weeks this event. Before you leave in the university, before you handed over your final dissertation thesis project to the evaluation. So what we try to plan is to give kind of comments and evaluation, then you can improve further. What I need to say over here, yesterday we commemorated and celebrated one achievement of our esteemed professor, Professor Pasi Asmi, got Scopus High Citation Award. This is a wonderful achievement. So that kind of role models are also here. Yes. So I shared with Vice Chancellor and Deputy Vice Chancellor, they also had their congratulations. This is the achievement, right? During 2019 to 25, in the social science field, she's the person who produced that research, the worldwide high citations. That's the proud of this faculty. Therefore, please get that the lesson and direction from your academic STEAM academics of this faculty. And sir, Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. Tushara Kamalratne, still he did not get the final certificate of PhD, recently completed. What I can say is that they didn't give any burden to me. So they came to my the office to invite me, other than no any kind of problem or any other issues created. මේක හරි වටින දෙයක්. මම මේක කියන්නේ මේ වගේ ඇකඩමික්ස්ලා හරි කලාතුරකින් හම්බෙන ටීම් එක හරි යං ටීම් එකක්, හරි පුදුම ටීම් එකක්. කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැතිව මේ ඉවෙන්ට් එක වෙනසරල්ලටත් වඩා ඉතාම හොඳින්. They organize very well. Sir, this kind of academics, we need to assign any task of the university. I can recommend that. So thank you very much, Dr. Tushara Kamalratne, for your unwavering support. One final thing I need to say to the students, you know how to conduct. Now you got the training, methodology, and how to data collection and produce a final research project. Some of you may have used AI to kind of generate your ideas. No problem. You can use that technology, advanced technology, for your submission or your research papers. But the problem is now we call that we are in the 21st century. Now we are about to start second quarter of the 21st century. But still, we are far behind in human qualities. That's the thing. Even though we are conducting research interdisciplinary, the connection and something like that, inclusive education, we are using such a wonderful terms. අපි ඒ වගේ දේවල් පාවිච්චි කරනවා. හැබැයි අපි වැඩ කරනකොට සමාජයේ we can see everywhere in this society people are අර බොරල්ල කනත් ළඟ යට කරගෙන ගියේ. ඒ කියන්නේ එහෙම human qualities ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ. දැන් විශ්වවිද්‍යාලෙත් මම දකිනවා එහෙම human qualities නැති අය. ඒ නිසා what I need to say is that please try to develop your research skills, but before that need to look into yourself, how I can change and how I can adapt with the situations. That's the important thing. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට පුළුවන් නම් අපි කවුද කියලා තේරුම් ගන්න. So keynote speakers, including Vice Chancellor sir, they will say how to conduct the research and everything. Your professors and lecturers already guided how to conduct the research. But still, it is your part how to develop yourself first. ඒ කියන්නේ මිනිස්සු දිහා සහානුකම්පාවෙන් බලන්න. අර අපි මේකට කියනවා inner management, not outside management, not time management, space management. We are learning those things, but the problem is we don't know how to manage ourselves. That's why we are believing that even though we are in the so-called 21st century, still believing that subculture like ragging of this university, harassment of the people. Therefore, it is your duty, it is your ultimate goal to achieve inner management. That's my humble request. ඔගොල්ලන්ගේ ඇතුළාන්තයට හැරිලා බලන්න. මම මේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයෙන් පිට වෙනකොට as our esteemed founder father Sir Ivor Jennings said, once you entered the Peradeniya University, nobody will leave, even though officially you leave from the university, you will not leave from this university. Even after 50 years, you will come back to this university. Therefore, please develop yourself, think about yourself, develop human qualities within you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, now I invite Professor Ranjit Pallegama, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya, to address the gathering.
Good morning. Professor Teras Majid, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya, Dr. Prabhat Ekanayake, Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Mr. Ranjit Vimalasurya, District Secretary, Anuradhapura, Mr. Tushara Kamalratne, Chairperson of the Research Conference, Professor Mahinda Herath, the Chairperson, Research and Development Unit of the Faculty of Arts, the senior professors, the professors, heads of departments, administrative officers, other staff members, colleagues, and students. First of all, let me thank the Faculty of Arts for inviting me for this wonderful event. I think this is a a great moment because final year students are presenting, almost over 330 students are presenting their final outcome of their final year research. So that the final year research project, two education experts are here, three education experts I see right in front of me. And in education jargon, we say the research project is the capstone project of a curriculum, a capstone. Why it's the capstone? Because the students need the collection of competencies, knowledge, skills that they acquire from the first year or even before that. And all those skills will culminate and will come out as the research project. That will be the outcome of the research project, will be that. So that to do a good research, it is impossible only to do it within that course or within that research project, unless they have been doing really, really well in their previous courses and throughout their previous academic years. Because that is what we expect. And also research actually, there are two keynote speakers waiting, so I won't really make my speech very short. But one thing I have to say, that research makes all people, or research thinking make our people to develop the skill of making decisions based on information, credible information. And it trains people to decide whether a particular information is a credible information, authentic information, and then assimilate, collect all such information and make a decision based on such information. Unfortunately, now, although we are training now, generally what I feel with my experience, Sri Lankans are poor at that. And our limited ability to make data or information driven decision probably let down our country as well. So we need to train. I mean, this training, this skill should be developed little by little from, I believe, with now widely talked education transformations. This skill should be trained from kindergarten. That is how it is happening in other developed countries. I mean, these kids are trained to make decisions based on information. Otherwise, now we have become a society that can be misled by one Facebook post or one social media post, WhatsApp post, so that we are very good at making decisions based on rumors or such, or either unauthentic or less authentic or less credible or not credible information. So that we need to, at least through our now education transformation will happen in the country, so that perhaps we can expect that we get better intake to the university in next years to come. But still, the intake that we get from even the next year or the year after next will be almost the same, so that we, through our curriculums, we should have a plan revising, changing our teaching and learning methods to get students to develop these skills from the first year, first day, without waiting for the research project. Otherwise, the students misunderstand that they need to have these skills only in the research project. So this is a message for students as well. So with this training, I think you will graduate. So like your senior batch graduated 2 weeks or just 1 week before with a wonderful convocation, with all your great outcomes, or what you achieve through your learning process. I think I wish you good luck for all the students, and also I congratulate them as well as their supervisors and also the faculty research committee for organizing such a great event, and also supervising students to wonderful research that will give some outcome or output that will result in outcome. Now our district secretaries, they are to talk about the practice of research output basically. So we need to make sure that even our policy decisions, even these education reforms that we are talking about, should be based on information, based on data, based on the ground situation and what we need. So that we should, our policies, practices should be based on methodically collected findings, data, interpretations, conclusions, not by our assumptions, opinions, just thinking. So with that message, let me conclude this very brief address. I congratulate all the students once again, and also their supervisors, and also the faculty, and the dean, and the organizing chairman of the organizing committee of this research conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Before we continue, we'd like to take a moment to highlight the incredible academic work that has taken place within our faculty over the past year. This video showcases the publications produced by each department, evidence of the commitment, insight, and ongoing scholarship of our academic community.
Welcome to the Undergraduate Research Congress, Faculty of Arts 2025, University of Peradeniya. As you already know, in this university there are 9 faculties. Out of the 9 faculties today, we are going to focus on one faculty, and that is Faculty of Arts. And now, to officially launch the proceedings of the Undergraduate Research Congress 2025, I would like to invite the Editor-in-Chief, Dr. Thamali Kitsiri, to present the publications to the head table.
Thank you. And now I kindly invite Professor Terence Madhujit, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya, and Dr. Prabhat Teganayaka, the Dean of the Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya, to join in launching the proceedings online.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I invite Professor Pushpa Vitarana, the Head, Department of English Language Teaching, Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya, to introduce our first keynote speaker.
Good morning, everyone. It is with great pleasure and immense pride that I stand before you today at the Undergraduate Research Congress of the Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya. This is a momentous occasion where we celebrate the pursuit of knowledge, the spirit of inquiry, and the passion of our undergraduate researchers. It is now my honor to introduce our keynote speaker, a scholar, a leader, and an academic of the highest caliber, Professor Terence Madhujit, the 23rd Vice Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya. Professor Madhujit is a proud alumnus of this very university, having earned his Bachelor of Science degree in agriculture in 1994. He then ventured overseas to pursue his graduate studies, obtaining both his MSc and PhD in food science from the Memorial University of Newfoundland. Upon returning to Sri Lanka, Professor Madhujit joined the Department of Food Science and Technology at the University of Peradeniya, where his contributions to teaching and research have been exceptional. He was appointed professor in 2015, and recognition of his outstanding academic leadership was elevated to the position of chair professor in food science and technology in 2019. Over the years, Professor Madhujit has taken on numerous leadership roles within the university. He served as the Deputy Vice Chancellor from 2021, the Director of the University Research Council, and held key positions such as Acting Director of the and the Deputy Director of Training and Research at the CDCE. In 2024, he was appointed as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya, a fitting recognition of his tireless dedication to academia and higher education. His scholarly contributions are equally noteworthy, with 185 research papers in peer-reviewed journals and 15 books, book chapters, and monographs. His research spanned across lipid chemistry, food safety, and food microbiology. His commitment to academic excellence has also taken him abroad, serving as a Fulbright Fellow at the University of Georgia, USA, and as a visiting professor in institutions across Canada, China, and Sri Lanka. Beyond academia, Professor Madhujit has significant contribution to national development. He has served on expert panels for the Sri Lanka Standards Institution and the Ministry of Health and Nutrition, contributing to national policy on food and nutraceutical standards. He has also played vital roles in academic and professional organizations, including the Nutrition Society of Sri Lanka, the Federation of University Teachers Association, FUTA, and the Peradeniya University Teachers Association. Professor Madhujit exemplifies the ideals of scholarship, leadership, and service. His career is a testament to the impact that dedicated academic professionals can have, not only within their field of study, but also in shaping institutions and national policy. We are truly privileged to have him with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me welcoming our keynote speaker, Professor Terence Madhujit, Vice Chancellor of the University of Peradeniya.
Good morning. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Ranjit Pallegama, Dean, Faculty of Arts, Dr. Prabhat Ekanayaka, one of the keynote speakers today, Mr. Ranjit Vimalasuri, one of our proud alumni. The conference chair, Mr. Tushara Kamalratna, Professor Mahinda Herath, heads of departments, academic colleagues, invitees, Professor Herath, Reverend Mahasangha, and Ms. Tushari Amarasena, Mr. Yanuka Pahalage, Mr. Mahesh Abhay-Vikrama. Most importantly, the paper presenters today, dear students. First of all, let me thank Professor Dr. Prabhat Ekanayak for inviting me as one of the keynote speakers today. And at the very outset, let me congratulate all the presenters presenting their scholarly work today, both senior authors as well as junior authors. So within the next, we are right on time. So I have been assigned 25 minutes to go for my presentation. So let me walk you through what planning of research could do to attain better results. Well, I agree with the previous speakers, Professor Pallegama and Dr. Ekanayaka. The research skills are killed by the time the student enters the university. Research is nothing but inquisitive mind. Our education system is going through reform, which I don't want to talk here. It has been one of the hot topics these days. So I will hand it over to the educationist rather than layman getting into this subject. So let the educationists handle this. Well, let me walk you through the presentation. So first, I will discuss why research is important, then priority research areas in social sciences and humanities, how to plan research, then funding, and finally, rather than getting the results collecting dust, how to publish. Why research is important? Some of you might think, okay, when we join the public sector, one good example is Mr. Ranjit in front of me from Anuradhapura. I mean, what is the point of doing research there, and how can we do research there? Well, you can do research anywhere, dear students. What is important is your inquisitive mind. You don't need to do formal research. As Professor Pallegam very correctly pointed out, in this country, one of the reasons why country has failed is our poor decision making. You wouldn't believe most of the decisions are emotion driven but not data driven. Now in this AI era, AI is data driven, evidence based. AI does not take emotions into account. So that is why, that research is extremely important. Let me congratulate Professor Fasi Asmi for being felicitated by National Science Foundation, having the highest number of citations on your work in small fishes between land and sea between the 2019 and 2025. Congratulations. Why is research important? Well, although these examples are from science and technology, we are staying in this room thanks to those findings. Thomas Alva Edison came up with light, that he failed in developing this incandescent bulb close to 1,000 times. But he did not give up. That shows perseverance, resilience, how important. And finally, he came up with the incandescent bulb. Of course, we don't use incandescent bulb anymore, but we have transformed into different, but same principle is applied. Then this gentleman, Sir Alexander Flemings from St. Mary Hospital, London, he was a physician as well as a specialist microbiologist. So he went on vacation for a short period, about 2 weeks. When he returned to his lab, he found some unusual findings on his Petri plates. Then he studied this, and that was the result of first antibiotic ever. That's penicillin. We are using hundreds of different antibiotics thanks to his finding. The explaining the structure of DNA, that helped immensely to the advancement of this. The COVID vaccine, numerous vaccines. For the first time, mRNA vaccine technology was introduced thanks to COVID virus. Now, this, how come in such a, within a span of 1 year, 2 years, several vaccines were generated? That's again thanks are due to this DNA. The visualizing, conceptualizing the shape of DNA helped a lot, because before 1950s, the world did not know how DNA looked like. So that now we are doing a lot of genetic engineering work, creating new organisms, creating new plants. For example, soybean. In the entire world, 60% of soybean is now genetically modified, whether you like it or not. That is a reality. In Sri Lanka, bringing in genetically modified organisms is prohibited. There's a limit. In food, there should be only 1%. But soybean oil available everywhere is more than 60% for sure genetically modified. Exploring space. Long ago, there was a Cold War between two countries, Russia and the United States. They had a stiff competition to explore the space. Now, we can even have private trips to space. There are different types of research: basic research, or rather fundamental research. Then applied research. Now, for example, National Institute of Fundamental Studies was established to carry out fundamental, basic research. But nowadays, nobody is interested in funding this basic research. So therefore, they themselves, NIFS, is also now more towards applied research. That's natural. Of course, we cannot forget basic research. We are here today thanks to basic research done decades ago. Qualitative research, that where we don't really care about the numbers, we are not explaining the things in quantitative terms, just qualitative research. Then quantitative research is more important at times because it comes up with numbers. Okay, how much, what percentages. Then correlational. You don't need to do formal research, but you can relate two things. I will get an example from medicine. Long ago, we did not know what caused cholera. Those days, 150 years ago, world did not know. They underwent the problems of cholera, but they didn't know what caused cholera. So some scientists, they correlated two things. Okay, immediately after floods, cholera spread. So then they related, okay, there's some relationship that led to the finding of what caused cholera. Today we know that it is caused by a bacterium known as Vibrio cholera. Then descriptive research. We are not going into teeny tiny details, but we are studying superficial. not conclusive. You cannot arrive at strong conclusions, powerful conclusions. We are just studying. It's kind of a fact finding. Then ethnographic research is more relevant to social sciences, humanities. We study how a group of people, their perceptions, how do they look at this problem, studying ethnic groups. Then experimental, like very stereotype, hardcore research. Exploratory research, again, is important. You don't do formal research, but again you study the pluses and minuses, explore. You cannot sometimes come up with strong, powerful conclusions, but you continue to explore. Of course, exploratory research is important for future researchers to continue in that line. Given the time limit, I am little going in a fast pace. Now, some priority research areas in social science and humanities. Ladies and gentlemen, Faculty of Arts with 19 different departments. It's a wide spectrum of subjects, disciplines there at Faculty of Arts. Cultural heritage and preservation. Of course, we have to bring in new technology there. How digitization can help preserving, what methods, like our 103 years old library has, with more than 1 million records, boasts to have nearly 2,500 Ola leaf collection, of 2,500 to 3,000 Ola leaf collection. Now, are they going to survive another 100 years? We don't know. So that you have to tell us, you have to show us how to preserve them, how to digitize them. When Mahavansa, at the last forum that we had here at archaeological symposium, there I announced that our Mahavansa is already now digitized. It's one of the biggest achievements. Now, many researchers, not many, about a handful of researchers came to us, asked for Mahavansa to go through. We did not have an answer because we could not give that valuable artifact to them. Then we should be able to give out a digital copy or a printed copy, whatever. Then thanks to Professor Pallegama's initiative, now it is fully digitized, and we are going to make a hard copy mimicking the same, and so that researchers can come and do their study and go. Then language, it's not cultural heritage and preservation. It's not only tangible. There are many intangible culture in the country, like traditional dancing, etc. So these also should be preserved. How? Traditional medicine, Hela Vedakam, etc. Then language, literature, and translation studies. Of course, their computer technology should come in. How to use Sinhala and Tamil into digitized platforms. Now, I can remember long ago, one of my parallels from engineering, he was the one who came up with Tibas package those days. All three languages can be used in computer. He was one of my roommates those days. Then history, archaeology, and identity research, much more. There are countries where we don't have this long history. It's not just 2,500 history. We have a much stronger, longer history in Sri Lanka. Then when it comes to protection of these archaeological sites, remote sensing and GIS can of course help. Then philosophy, religion, ethics, how religion can come up to control stress of young generations. Buddhism, the contribution of Buddhism to make unfortunately we are deviating from Buddhist philosophy, but we are practicing something else, and that is the reason why we have so much of problems in the country. And all other religions too, their contributions, their cross-compatibilities. Then media, communication, and digital humanities, again, we can do a lot there. Arts, performing arts, creative industries. These arts and performing arts can be converted to a business as well. Handicrafts, one good example. Peace building, conflict studies, human rights, reconciliation. Now, sometimes we ask our students to come up with a researchable topic. That itself is a good research. So they have to come up with a title research for their study. They have to come up with the title. So that itself is a very good skill that you have to develop. Indigenous knowledge systems and sustainability, education, policy, and society. I wouldn't talk much there. Environmental management, GIS, remote sensing, economics. Well, we failed in 2022. We realized the economists are the most important people who came out to salvage the country. Macroeconomic stability and fiscal policies. Development economics and poverty alleviation. Now, Aswasuma, what has happened there? Now, Aswasuma, can they set the number of Aswasuma offered as one of their KPIs? Well, we will be having more Aswasuma people in the years to come. So that should not be the other way. That should not be the way. It should be the other way. But unfortunately, what we have seen in Sri Lanka is something different. The Samurdhi, Janasaviya, Aswasuma, the recipients are on the rise. So something is wrong there. Tourism, international trade, investment, global value chain, tourism, service sector. We are focusing on tourism. So then once I can remember Professor Vasanta Tukorla said, a tourist is expected to spend at least $5,000 in Sri Lanka, but on average they are spending $1,500. So we should be able to get their money and retain that money in the country, but we have not done that. They need activities. They are not just come into Kandy, stay in a hotel and go. That is what they do right now, because there are no activities. Environmental and resource economics, we should really focus on, because our forest deforestation, the climate change, health economics and education economics. The way how much we are spending on health and economics, are we getting the right returns? So planning research is very important. Many think that undergraduate research is just 4 months, 6 months maximum. You cannot do much. Well, that's a misconception. I can cite many examples. Undergraduate research, if you plan well, you can get very good results. You can have patents. There are many examples. Undergraduate research has led to international high-wire publications. So choosing the research project is also a skill. So you have to come up with this. Focus on national needs, especially when it comes to funding. The institutions like even NSF, NRC, SL CARP, etc., they look at the national importance. Priorities identified by funding agencies. Joining with ongoing research project is another thing that you could do. A thorough literature survey is important, because you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Doing the same thing over and over again is useless, because we are spending a lot of money, time on research. Effective utilization of research. We have to question ourselves whether this project is worthwhile. What is a novelty when it comes to funding? When not funding, publication especially, they are looking for novelty. Good olden things, they are not interested in. And whether the outcome is publishable. or whether the society will be benefited. If answer is yes to this, that is a good researchable project. Is a project doable? Sometimes you can come up with very high-end research, but we cannot do in Sri Lanka. We don't have that infrastructure, equipment, chemical consumables. So these things you have to be mindful of. Preliminaries. What is a research question? Sometimes midway through the research, when you ask a question, what is the research question? Sometimes researcher is not very sure. So which means the person has not really understood what he is or she is doing. So we have to clearly define the research question. Identify objectives clearly. Of course, you have to use a SMART principle. Identify variables. Sometimes we don't know halfway through the research what are the variables, what are the independent, what are dependent variables. Asking the question, the student has no proper answer. Formulate hypothesis. Theoretical framework in social science and humanities. So theoretical framework, especially economics. I know theoretical framework is important. Ethical clearance. You know, in good olden days, to nearly 150, 200 years ago, people were used to test drugs. Drugs means not narcotics, but pharmaceuticals. So some poor people from poor communities, they were severely affected because of testing drugs. So then scientific communities came together, and this should not be, we shouldn't be doing this. It is really unethical, and therefore they came up with a protocol. Even for animals now, say skin products, until recently all skin products, say whiteness, etc., were tested on rabbits. But now it is very inhumane. If you have seen how the suffering of the rabbit because of application of these test compounds, you wouldn't use these skin products. So that is also the use of animals, laboratory animals, is now without ethical clearance. But now it has gone to social sciences and humanities. When you are developing a questionnaire, going out to the society and get the questionnaire filled, some of the questions might be gender sensitive. Some of the questions might be ethnic sensitive. So therefore, now the norm is, for any type of research, it is prudent for us to have ethical clearance. Now at Peradeniya, almost all faculties have established ethical clearance, ethic review committees. So including postgraduate institutes. I'm not sure about PGIHS. I'm sure PGIS has, PGIA has. Many faculties do have ethic review committees. Literature survey. You might think that you are wasting time on reading, but it is extremely worthwhile. Spend not days, not weeks, even a month. Is still worthwhile because it will avoid pitfalls. It will avoid repetitions. You will be able to come up with the best methodologies. So where to find literature? Well, you can consult journal articles, reports, attending symposia. Now most of these are online available, newscasts, stats, and talking to your teachers, talking to peers. Literature, you can get information. Choosing the right research method. Methodology is important. There may be very good techniques. Some of the techniques might not be feasible, very expensive, costly. And in Sri Lanka, we don't have enough resources. And the time is limited. Your research is just 6 months, 1 year, say. We cannot do this because of these limitations. So there may be very good techniques, very good methods, very good models, but if they are not practical, we have to go with alternative methods. Always there should be controls. Accuracy and precision, I'm sure at least some of you know the difference between these two. if you look at here, the accurate, it is in the middle of the circle and the dots, 4 dots are together. So they are accurate as well as precise. Here they are within the inner circle, they are accurate but not precise because the dots are scattered. Here they are precise but not accurate because it is outside of the circle. Here not accurate, not precise either. So this is important when you are looking at your data. Sometimes they come and present, they have not really reviewed data. So when it comes to presentation or writing, the others will capture. Sampling, whether you are doing social sciences, science, any research, sampling is essential. What is the right type of sample? What is the right number of samples? Say our Faculty of Arts student population is 4,000. I am doing a social science research. What should be the minimum number of students to be taken as a sample? Is it 50, 10, 100, 200, 1,000? So what is the criteria that you use? There are different techniques, statistical techniques. There are even formulas that can determine the least number of students or the samples. And there are, in science, we find, say, huge number of silos. So how to get wheat or rice from? There are techniques. There's a line of milk bottles going very quick. So every 10th bottle can be picked up. Traffic, how to get samples. There are different techniques. So I don't want to go into details of different sampling techniques. There are many sampling techniques that you can choose from. Lab animals, again, how many replicates? That depends on population size, margin of error, CI, SD. Collection of data, there are 2 types of data. Primary data means you gather those data. But secondary data, you can go to central bank reports and get, somebody has already done, but it is perfectly all right. Secondary data, why not use them? Data collection methods, by filling forms, questionnaires, interviews, one-on-one interviews, mail interviews, taking Google forms, observations. You go to the supermarket and observe how the customers behave. What aisles are more attractive to them? What places are more attractive to them? What items are most sold? Documents and records, focus groups. There are many different data collection methods. Then organizing data is extremely important. Data curation is important. Cleaning, editing. Not all data, pieces of data will work. Some are definite outliers. So you have to have good understanding. So outliers you might have to remove. Data curating. Coding, classification. If you want to digitize, of course, coding is essential. Then to analyze data, there are many now. You don't, in good olden days, we did by hand, but now software available. Excel, Minitab, SAS, SPSS is more relevant for social sciences. AMOS, R Studio, that you need to learn this. Interpretation of data. Data interpretation is very tricky. You can make hundreds of different comparisons, but what are really plausible or practical relations only you should present. Otherwise, people will laugh at you. Those theoretical comparisons will not work. And data manipulation, cheating is not to be done. Data cleaning is all right, but if you manipulate data purposefully to get whatever you want, is not ethical. That should be avoided. We call data cooking. That should not be done. Conclusions based on the data gathered purely should be based on your data, that you gathered and should be aligned with your original objectives. Nowadays, reference management systems are out there. Mendeley is free. There's a free version. So you don't need to type in all references. EndNote, of course, you have to pay. There are others also like Sortiro, RM, Preference Manager. Of course, you should learn how to use this one. Finally, publishing research output. Why it is important for us to publish? Otherwise, nobody would know. Nobody will acknowledge your work. That's contribution to knowledge. What is the point of hiding this? Because we are using public money mostly. We are not generally use our own money to do research. So since we are using public money, we are obliged to publish them. Others should get the benefit. To obtain authorship, career advancement, to avoid claiming, otherwise somebody else will come and publish. Patent rights. Where to publish? Well, that is your sense. There are very, you have to look at your scopus, not scope. If it is in, say, geography, there are dedicated journals for geography you can think of. And of course, all journals have their websites. They say this is the scope of the journal. So if there's no proper match, think of an alternative. Always these days we talk about this predatory journals. So avoid predatory journals. There are ways and means to identify predatory journals. Always index journals are the best. So there are several journal indices, Scopus, Web of Science, there are Social Science Citation Index, SSCI, Director of Open Journal, Open Access Journal, PubMed, depending on. So this is what I mentioned to you earlier. Predatory journals should be avoided. There are very important signs and symptoms to identify predatory journals. They don't have a reputed editorial board, no impact factor, not indexed. The moment you submit, they will publish and they ask for money, etc. And patenting, wherever applicable, you can go for patenting. Finally, research is just inquisitive mind. That is what propels the humankind forward. That is why we are here today. Leads to innovations. Planning is important. So don't go by the misconception that small research, even undergraduate research, is not worthwhile. If you plan well, you can have better results. Planning leads to powerful conclusions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring speech. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I invite Professor Malaka Ranatilaka, Department of Economics and Statistics, Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya, to introduce our second keynote speaker.
Thank you very much. Venerable Reverend Sirs, Vice Chancellor, Professor Teras Majid, Deputy Vice Chancellor Ranjit Pallegama, Dean, Faculty of Arts, and other deans, directors, head of the departments, and my colleagues, and dear students. It is an honor to introduce Mr. Ranjit Vimalasurya, my batchmate, dearest friend. He was in the same batches with our previous keynote speaker, Professor Teras Majid, Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya. Mr. Ranjit Vimalasuriya, distinguished administrative officer within one of Sri Lankan's most prestigious government administrative services. He began his administrative career after graduation with the Bachelor of Arts from Department of Sociology, Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya, 1994. He was appointed as an administrative officer in 1996. He has pursued further academic and professional qualifications, including Master of Arts in Sociology from University of Kelaniya, 2008, Diploma in Information and Communication Technology from ICBT campus, 2008, Administrative Certificate in General Management from SLIDA, 2009, Certificate in Public Administration from SLIDA, 2001. He received his primary education from Wadiyagoda Primary School. Consequently, secondary education from Karandagas Kada Mahavidyalaya, Deltota. His professional journey began with his first appointment as Assistant Divisional Secretary, Sevanagala, Monragala District. Since then, he held numerous administrative positions such as Assistant Divisional Secretary, Dompe, Assistant Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Assistant Controller as well as Deputy Controller, Department of Immigration and Immigration, many director positions, Minister of Youth Affairs and Skill Development, Combined Services, National Secretariat for Non-Governmental Organizations, Controller, Imports and Export, Additional Secretary, Minister of Industry. Currently, he serves as a District Secretary, Anuradhapura District. He has participated and contributed many administrative programs in more than 25 countries. His key strengths includes administrator, researcher, planner, advisor, and evaluator. With great pleasure, I invite Mr. Ranjit Vimalasuriya, District Secretary, Anuradhapura, deliver his keynote speech. Thank you.
Very good morning to all of you. Ayubowan, Vanakkam, Assalamu alaikum. Reverend sirs, Vice Chancellor, Professor Terence Madhujit, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Ranjit Pallegama, Dean, Faculty of Arts, Dr. Prabhat Ekanayaka, Professor Mahinda Herath, all the dignitaries, head of departments, professors, senior lecturers, members of the academic staff, members of the non-academic staff, dear undergraduates, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to see the faces of Dr. Professor Herath and Professor Pinnavala, Mallika Pinnavala here, who are the lecturers during our period. Madam, sir, let me start my task with special blessing of yours. It's an esteemed pleasure and honor to me delivering a keynote speech at this special event as a proud product of this prestigious university. At the outset, I'd like to extend my warm wishes and congratulations to all young researchers disseminating their findings to the research community at this research symposium. As an outsider to this the formal education context, my speech here would be a different experience to you. I'll try my best to give some thoughts to the audience, especially the students who have finished their studies here and are on the doorstep of the competitive job market. Even though I have not fixed particular topic to my speech, because I am not a professional academic speaker, so usually you expect me to do a kind of general speech just to open your eyes on the general context and what will happen after this journey in the university, since you are entering to a very big competitive society. Since I have both these experiences, I think I can give some insights to the students who are finishing their studies here. However, I prefer to outline my speech under main 4 sections. Number 1 is my world and our world. The second is fate of the graduates. Third one is challenges for new graduates, and fourth is avenues for overcoming those challenges. As this is an informal speech and I need to express my real feelings, I may switch to my mother tongue automatically, which makes me comfortable to give some thoughts, insightful thoughts to you. And I hope that will be helpful for understanding the message what I try to convey. Also, I like to request you concentrate on the message I try to pass through this speech and not to decide or the judge or my language skill or my presentation skills. Albert Einstein once said, "The world created by us is a result of our own thinking. Therefore, the world cannot be changed without changing our thinking." There's a very much popular opinion in the society that university students believe the world is located inside the university. But they realize that the university is located in the world just after they passing out the university. සාමාන්‍ය එදා ඉඳලම ලංකාවේ අදහසක් තියෙනවා විශ්වවිද්‍යාල ළමයි හිතාගෙන ඉන්නේ ලෝකයේ තියෙන විශ්වවිද්‍යාල ඇතුලේ කියලා. හැබැයි ඒගොල්ලෝ එළියට ගියාම තේරුම් ගන්නවලු නෑ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ තියෙන ලෝකයේ ඇතුලේ කියලා. මේක අපේ අර විශ්වවිද්‍යාලවල තියෙන සදාකාලික තීරි තියෙනවානේ. මම හිතනවා තාමත් වළංගු ඇති කියලා. අපි දැන් අවුරුදු 30 40ක් මේකෙන් අවුට් වෙලා. ඒ වගේ පොදුවේ පිළිගත්ත කාරණයක් එළිය සමාජයේ. I have been there for more than 4 decades now. So I can understand what people believe on university students. What is their attitude on university students? Still they believe that university students are not really strict. That is their belief. I'm not criticizing or undermine the university students, but the attitude of the general society is like that. This is a myth. Everybody knows this is a myth. But the meaning behind that reflects something about the university community. My purpose of mentioning here this idea is not to undermine you, but to draw your attention some points which are faced by the university graduates just after finishing their studies. Lack of real world experience is the biggest problem faced by the university students or the graduates. That is an observation or finding made by many researchers. I strongly believe that as undergraduates, you have a big responsibility to change this attitude by proving your abilities and skills. Firstly, you must be proud to become an undergraduate in the university. You have competed with thousands of students at the advanced level exam. You are the cream of that community. Secondly, you must be proud to being a student of the University of Peradeniya. That is the university. ලංකාවේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයක් නම් පේරාදෙනියම තමයි. ඒක බොහොම අභිමාණයෙන් හැමතැනම කියනවා. ලංකාවේ ජාතික විශ්වවිද්‍යාල ගණනාවක් තියෙනවා. මේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාල ඕනම එකක ළමයෙකුට ලංකාවේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාල නාමාවලිය හදන්න කිව්වොත් එහෙම ඉස්සෙල්ලාම ලියන්නේ පේරාදෙනිය. එයා උපාධිධාරියා වෙන්නේ කැලණියෙන් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, කොළඹින් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, වෙනත් විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයකින් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි ලංකාවේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාල නාමාවලිය name the list of universities in Sri Lanka කිව්වොත් එහෙම firstly they write the name of the University of Peradeniya. This university has a world rank and the number 1 university in the country. ඒ නිසා අපි හැමෝටම මේක ආඩම්බරයක්. මෙච්චර ලස්සන විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයක්, මෙච්චර ලස්සන තැනක්, ඒ වගේම මෙච්චර දක්ෂ ආචාර්ය මණ්ඩලයක් ඉන්න විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයක් මං හිතන්නේ ලංකාවේ වෙන තැනක නැහැ. So if I come back to the point I stress, with a change in the world. As well-educated community, are you ready to change the world? What is our preparation for that? Have you made any attempt on that? You may have done a lot of things in this regard. You may have fought against the injustice. That is university culture. Usually, we fight against the injustice. You may have demonstrated in picketings, and you may have involved in many other things for change in the society. But have you ever thought of changing yourself? I'd like to mention the point highlighted by Dr. Prabhat, are we ready to change? Always we are finger points the others. Those are the people who are doing wrong things. Those are the people who are not behaving well. Have you ever seen yourself? That is one of the biggest challenges we are having. There's a popular saying by Mahatma Gandhi. If you wish to see the change in the world, start it from you. ඔබට ලෝකය වෙනස් කරන්න දකින්න ආස නම් ඒක ඔබෙන් පටන් ගන්න. ඒ නිසා I urge you, don't try to change, be the change. This attitude in your mind will make you a graduate with a confident and brave personality. අපි අදටත් කතා කරන ඇඩම් ස්මිත් ආර්ථික විද්‍යාව පියා කියලා අපි සලකන ඉපදුනේ 1723 ජූනි 16 වෙනිදා. මට මේ ආරාධනාව කරේ අපේ ප්‍රොෆෙසර් මාලකරණතිලක සහ ප්‍රභාත් ඒකනායක. ඒ නිසා මට හිතුණා මේ වැඩිපුර ඇත්තේ ඉකොනොමික් සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක කරන ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස්ලා කියලා. ඒ නිසා මම මේ උදාහරණ කියන්න හිතුවේ. නමුත් මට පේනවා there are a lot of other students who are representing the other departments. Anyway, this is something general. You don't need to think about what I'm saying here, the theory here, but get the general idea of this. ඇඩම් ස්මිත් මිය යන්නේ 1790 ජූලි 17 වෙනිදා. ඔහු අවුරුදු 67ක් ජීවත් වෙනවා. මට වඩා ඔහු ගැන තොරතුරු මේ ඉන්න හැමෝම දන්නවා කියලා මම විශ්වාස කරනවා. අදටත් අපි 2025 දීත් ඉගෙන ගන්න, උගන්වන, ටියුට් ලියන, විභාග ලියන, පාඩම් කරන ආර්ථික න්‍යායන් ඇතුළත් වෙලා තියෙන The Wealth of the Nation කියන පොත ඔහු ලියන්නේ 1776. ඒ කියන්නේ අදට අවුරුදු 249කට එහා. තවමත් අපි ඔහුගේ තියරිය විශ්වාස කරනවා, පිළිගන්නවා. ඔහු එදා කිව්වා සම්පත් සීමිතයි, මිනිසුන්ගේ අවශ්‍යතා අසීමිතයි. Needs and modes of the people are unlimited, but the resources are limited. මේ තියරිය අපි පාඩම් කරනවා, කටපාඩම් කරනවා, විභාග ලියනවා, පාස් වෙනවා, බොහෝ දේවල් කරනවා. මේක තමයි ආර්ථික විද්‍යාවේ මූලධර්මය. මේ අසීමිත සම්පත් හිගකම අසීමිත ආශාවන්ට සම්පත් හිගකම මැච් කරන්නේ කොහොමද, ගලපන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා අපි ටිකක් හිතලා බලලා තියෙනවාද? මම හිතනවා බොහෝ උත්සාහයන් දරලා ඇති කියලා. නමුත් සමාජයේ වැඩ කරද්දී හැසිරෙද්දී we can't see that. The greediness of the people, we can experience that. As an administrator, I met with thousands of people in my life. So all the people are coming to get the support of the government for easing their life. Benefits, not the assistance to develop their life, enhance their life. මොකක් හරි ආධාරයක් දෙන්න කියාගෙන තමයි මාව හොයාගෙන එන්නේ. This is the attitude of our society. එතකොට මේ සම්පත්තිකකමට ආසාවන් අසීමිතකමට අපි උත්තර හොයලා තියෙනවාද? උදාහරණයක් විදියට ආර්ථික විද්‍යාව විශේෂ උපාධිය හදාපු ළමයෙකුට මම වගකීමක් පැවරුවොත් අහවල් තැන සර්වේ එකක් තියෙනවා. ළමයි 4 දෙනෙකුයි බයිසිකල් දෙකකුයි දෙන්නම් මේ ඒරියා එක කවර් කරලා එන්න කියලා. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මට තියෙන අත්දැකීම තමයි තර්ේ ගාන නම් මදි. මේ වැඩේ කරන්න බයික් දෙකක් මදි, ළමයි 4ක් මදි. I need more facilities, more resources. That is the general attitude of especially the students who studied this theory. මේ theory ඉගෙන ගත්ත ළමංගෙත් again I am saying I am not undermine you. I am not let down you. Just get this idea. එතකොට අපිට පුළුවන් වෙලා තියෙනවාද සීමිත සම්පත් වලින් අපේ අවශ්‍යතාව පරිමහ ගන්න. අපි try කරලා තියෙනවාද? අපේ පෙරදිග චින්තනයේ එක තැනක් තියෙනවා. I believe most of you have heard this. මේ ගසේ බොහෝ පැණි දොඩම් තිබේ. පැහිලා ඉදිලා බිමට නැමිලා බර වෙලා අතු. නංගිටයි මටයි ගෙඩි දෙකක් ඇති. වැඩිය කඩන නරක ළමයි හැම නොවේ අපි. පොඩි කාලේ හැමෝම අහලා තියෙනවා. මේ කවිය කියන පෙරදිග ආර්ථික සංකල්පය අපි අපේ ජීවිතවලට කොච්චර දුරට සම්බන්ධ කරගෙන තියෙනවද? try කරලා තියෙනවද? මේ ගසේ බොහෝ පැණි දොඩම් තිබේ. resources unlimited. පැහිලා ඉදිලා බිමට නැමිලා බර වෙලා අතු. ඕන තරම් තියෙනවා. But two is enough for myself and my sister. නංගිටයි මට ගෙඩි දෙකක් ඇති. එතකොට අසීමිත ආසාවන් කොහොමද කන්ට්‍රෝල් කරලා තියෙන්නේ? ඇඩම් ස්මිත්ගේ තියරිය අනිත් පැත්ත නෙවෙයිද මේ තියෙන්නේ? ඇඩම් ස්මිත්ගේ තියරියයි මේ කවියයි තරාදියකට දාලා බැලුවොත් වැඩි බර තියෙන්නේ කොතනද? මම ඔබට යෝජනා කරන්නේ මේ එක සරල උදාහරණයක් විතරයි ගත්තේ. There may be some wrong things related to this theory because I am not familiar with this theory that much. Therefore, take the message only. Don't criticize the way I presented this, and there might be some wrong facts related to this theory. මේ වෙනසට අපි සූදානම්ද? ඒක නිසා තමයි මම කියන්නේ. I again request you, don't try to do changes, be the change. Now, let me come to the third point. This is what are the challenges faced by the graduates. I know most of you may have studied, search on this more than me. මට වැඩිය හුඟක් අය මේ ගැන හොයලා ඇති දැන් මේ වෙනකොට. But according to my experience in the public sector, more than 25 years, I have listed out some points which are well known by you too. The main one is scarcity of jobs, uncertainty of jobs. Especially nowadays, it's too hard to find a job in the public sector. You may have seen government had a policy of recruiting graduates to the public sector without any filtering system. In 1 year, governments recruited more than 50,000 graduates at a time. It was a hassle. I am also a public servant at that time who managed a division. Hundreds of graduates came to my office. It is a really mess. There were no places to sit them. We didn't have enough resources to provide them. So ultimately, government has to make a decision whether we are providing job opportunities to all graduates without considering the need of the public sector. Finally, that decision was taken. Government suspend recruiting graduates without considering the need of the public sector. In our time, we were lucky to enter into the public service. I was entered with by passing an exam to the public service, or administrative service. But most of my graduates, the batchmates, were lucky to enter into the public service without any competitive exam. Still, they are working. Some of them are now retired, but they were lucky to have that opportunity. But you don't have. That's why the scarcity has occurred. You have to do a kind of attempt to find a job. That is one of the biggest challenges we are having. The second one is lack of experience. So you'll have to find other options. The lack of experience is the second challenge you are facing. It's a kind of dilemma, just like hen and egg. All the public sector people need to have the experienced people for their organizations, because their main target is not making services to the country. Their main target is making profit. So they need to have the most suitable people in their organization. Even the first comer to their organization, they seek whether you have any experiences plus the education qualification. So the graduates who are just passing out the university do not have that much of exposure, and they are seeking opportunities to get that experiences. But the private sector is not ready to give that opportunity to the newly graduated students. So that is a challenge for you. So what I am suggesting you to do whatever you get, even during your studentship, try to engage some other activities. That will be a great opportunity or great experience for entering into the job market. Third one is transition from academia to industries. This is a common complaint by the industries. So the graduates are not ready to transform from the university life to the real life industries. So there's a list of points which you are also familiar with. I'm not going to elaborate all this again and again. But I'd like to come to the third point, fourth point, which will be important to you as well as the organizers expected me to do. Tell about something, the avenues you are having. Just after finishing your studies, what are the avenues you are having in the current socio-economic system? As an officer representing the prime public service in the country, I must tell you, as graduates, you don't need to keep any uncertainty or fear on your future. If you are ready to face the challenges, අවස්ථා තියෙනවා බය වෙන්න එපා කියලා මං කියන්නේ. There are ample opportunities in the society if you are ready to accept those challenges. One is public service. Still there are some channels where you can enter into the public service, especially the competitive exams. There are a number of services, island-wide services. I believe most of you are aware of that. Number one public service in the country, which I am belongs to, Sri Lanka Administrative Service. Time by time, the government conduct exams. You can sit for that exam, but with a preparation. It's highly competitive exam, but I believe at least few of you can get through. Some other services are there: Sri Lanka Planning Service, Sri Lanka Accountancy Service, Sri Lanka Education Service, Sri Lanka Foreign Service. By entering into these jobs or the careers, you can be a prestigious employee in the public sector. Therefore, get ready for these exams once you are finishing your university studies. Second chance is there are a lot of opportunities for the students who are willing to continue their education. Scholarships are there. Yesterday, I inquired from the Ministry of Higher Education, one of the additional secretaries there. She stressed that there are a lot of opportunities. Time to time, they publish those in their websites. United Kingdom, Japan, India, Cuba, China, you can have opportunities for getting scholarships in those countries for continuing your higher education. Third one is private sector, which is mostly open to the educated people. If you are skillful, they will embrace you. So state sector, state corporation sector is still open. You may have heard this Sanstha Mandala. මේ වගේ තැන්වල තවමත් අවස්ථා තියෙනවා. Sometimes you will have to sit for an exam. Sometimes you will have to face an interview. But the opportunities are there for the educated people. Third, the other one is you can become an entrepreneur. මම හිතනවා අපිත් කියලා දෙනවා මෙහෙත් විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයෙන් පස්සේ කොහොමද තනියම නැගිටින්නේ කියලා. ලංකාවේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාල අධ්‍යයනය ලබන්න සුදුසුකම් තියෙන්නේ ඊටාම සීමිත පිරිසකට 100ට ඊටාම අඩු ප්‍රතිශතයකට. ඒ ප්‍රතිශතය අර හැලෙන 90 ගානකට රස්සා දෙන්න සුදුසු. So we have 2 universities offers bachelor in entrepreneurship. That is, those are University of Kelaniya and University of Uwavellassa. They have separate department for producing graduates on entrepreneurship. So what they do, just after completing their degree, I have seen some of those graduates going behind someone asking a job. They were taught to produce job in the market. Entrepreneurship degree කරපු අයත් කාගෙන් හරි රස්සාවක් ඉල්ලනවා. This is a pathetic situation in the society. We haven't created their mindset to take the challenges. ඒක නිසා you have that opportunity. There are a lot of avenues in the public sector too. Under the Ministry of Industries, the government has a special program for promoting graduates as entrepreneurs. They give a 5 lakhs loan. You can start your own business there. And they have a special program to promoting the entrepreneurs who are currently engaged in small businesses. මට හම්බෙලා තියෙනවා ලංකාවේ කොස් වියලන උපාධිධාරියෙක්. ගාල්ල ප්‍රදේශයේ ඉන්නේ. ඔහු කියනවා ඔහු කොස් වලට වෛර කරපු චරිතයක් කියලා. හේතුව පොඩි කාලේ ඉස්කෝලේ යනකොට පාර පුරාම කොස් වැටිලා හැමදාම පයින්ග ගහ ඈත් කර කර ලිස්සලා වැටි තමයි ඉස්කෝලේ ගියේ කියලා. ඒ නිසා වෛරයක් තිබුණ කොස් වලට යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ ඇවිල්ලා ඉගෙන ගත්තාම තේරුණාලු මේකේ මොන හරි දෙයක් කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. ඔහු ලංකාවේ ලීඩින් බිස්නස්මන් කෙනෙක් දැනට පිටරට යවනවා කොස් විජලනය කරලා. විවිධ නිෂ්පාදන නිර්මාණ ඔහු කරනවා කොස් වලින්. මේ වගේ if you are creative, lot of avenues are there. ඒ නිසා be skillful. උපාධිය කියන්නේ තවදුරටත් රස්සාවක් ගන්න සුදුසුමක් වෙලා නැහැ අපේ රටේ. ඉස්සර ගමක උපාධාරියෙක් හොයාගන්න එක අමාරුයි. දැන් උපාධියක් නැති මිනිහෙක් හොයාගන්න එක තමයි අමාරු. So everybody is willing to complete their higher education. රජයේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාල තියෙනවා, පෞද්ගලික විශ්වවිද්‍යාල තියෙනවා. Anyhow they try to achieve that target. ඊළඟ කාරණය, so I have another 2 minutes time. I try to wind up this by giving a special message to you. So most of the lecturers and especially Professor Ranatilaka talk about me, and I'm a person who's coming from a very remote area. මෙතන එහා පැත්තේ දෙල්තොට අපේ වචන කිව්වොත් හෙන ඩොටේ. But this university made me as a person. This is the place where I was groomed to become a person with confident, person with patient, a person with personality. It is you have got a great chance to become a graduate from the University of Peradeniya. If I talk about my journey, a lot of stories are there. It's not that much easy to become a higher officer in the public sector. There are a lot of hurdles, but the courage I had is created by the University of Peradeniya. And not the desire, but the dedication. ආශාව තියෙන එක තියෙන දේවල් අපි ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්නේ වෙලාවක් තිබුණොත් විතරයි. නමුත් ඩෙඩිකේෂන් එක තියෙන කැපවීම තියෙන දේ අපි ඉලක්කය ළඟා වෙනතුරු අත්හරින්නේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා මම නැවතත් ඉල්ලා සිටින්නේ do not give up. අතාරින්න එපා. Again, I stress you are the cream of this education system. You are not permitted to do so. අනිත් අය ඒක කළාට කමක් නැහැ. You cannot give up. බොහෝ දෙනෙක් පරාජය වැළඳගන්නේ ජය කනුව පෙනි පෙනී. මේ පණිවිඩයත් එක්ක මම අවසන් කරනවා. I'd like to congratulate all the researchers and thank you very much for giving this great opportunity for me. It was one of my dreams, actually. So, thank you very much, the organizing committee, for inviting me. And again, I'd like to congratulate all these students to have a bright future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your inspiring speech, sir. Now, I kindly invite Dr. Prabhat Ekanayake, the Dean Faculty of Arts, University of Peradeniya, to present the token of appreciation to our esteemed keynote speaker, Professor Terence Madhurit, the Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya. Thank you, sir. Now, I kindly invite Mr. Tushara Kamalratna, the chairperson of the Undergraduate Research Congress 2025, to present the token of appreciation to our second keynote speaker, Mr. Ranjit Vimalasuriya, the district secretary, Anuradhapura.
Thank you very much. I now invite Professor Mahinda Herath, the chairperson of Research and Development Unit, Faculty of Arts, to graciously deliver the vote of thanks and express our gratitude for this remarkable event.
Venerable Mahasangha, the Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, the Dean of Faculty of Arts, the distinguished guests, members of the academic staff and administrative staff, ladies and gentlemen. It is both an honor and privilege to stand before you to deliver the vote of thanks for the conclusion of the Undergraduate Research Congress, URCFA 2025. Organizing an event this is not in 1 month, is not a small task. But today, as we look back what we have accomplished together, I feel nothing but pride, gratitude, and deep appreciation. First and foremost, I wish to express my heartfelt thanks to Professor W.M.T. Madhujit, the Vice Chancellor, University of Peradeniya. Sir, your presence here as the chief guest and on an inspiring keynote address have truly elevated this event. We are profoundly grateful for your generous support, especially the allocation of nearly 2.5 million rupees at a first in the history of our Faculty of Arts. Thank you very much, sir. Your leadership and vision have been instrumental making URCFA 2025 a reality. Our sincere thanks goes to the Professor Ranjit Pallegama, Deputy Vice Chancellor, for your guidance and administrative support throughout this process. Your encouragement have been deeply valued. To Dr. Prabhat Ekanayaka, the Dean Faculty of Arts, sir, you have been the unwavering pillar behind this. Thank you very much for trust and your freedom, your encouragement, and your constant support. Without your belief in our abilities, none of these would have been possible, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We are also honored to the presence Mr. Ranjit Vimalasuriya, District Secretary, Anuradhapura, who joined us, one of our keynote speaker. Your contribution of this academic platform is deeply appreciated. Our thanks extended to this Director PJHS and all the deans, Faculty of Art, faculties for your support and collaborations. I wish especially acknowledge to the Mr. Tushara Kamalaratna, Chairperson of URCFA 2025. Your tireless efforts have been commendable. Thank you very much. To our Congress secretaries, Ms. Tumi Ambuldeniya and Mr. Buddhisa Veerasurya, you ensured that every detail be handled with care and precious. Thank you very much. We also extend our deep appreciation to Dr. Thamali Kissiri, Editor-in-Chief, and the entire editorial team for your restlessness work, reviewing and finalizing more than nearly 800 abstracts is not a small task. Your commitment day and night is truly admirable. To the head of the departments and departmental coordinators, and all the members of the organizing committees, editorial, finance, venue, technical, refreshment, ceremony, registration, publicity, and accommodation. Thank you for your immense contribution. Each of you played a vital role in the success of this event. Thank you. We also extend our appreciation to the academic staff of the Faculty of Arts, including senior professors, senior lecturers, and the temporary staff members who guided and mentored our students, researchers, helped shape their content present here today. Let me also thanks to the key administrative officers who supported us immensely, Mr. KBA Damunupala, Acting Registrar, Mr. AM NBA Arampat Bersa, Mr. Maheshwaran, Librarian. Our thanks extended to Mr. Yenuka Pahalage, Deputy Bersa, Mr. HATN Amarasena, and Miss HATN Amarasena, Miss PK Hera, Deputy Registrars. Your support ensured the smooth running of all the administrative matters. Our appreciation also goes to the Professor Sumedha Jayatilaka, Dr. HMC Herath, and Mr. Mahesh Abe Vikrama, Public Relation Officer. We are also thankful to the media team, audio, visual, and technical officers, and the landscape and work division, whose effort behind the success often go unnoticed but are always invaluable. The sincere thanks sincere thank you to all the non-academic staff of the Dean Office and the other every department within the Faculty of Arts. Your everybody effort keep this complex operation running smoothly. To our paper presenters, final year students, you are the heart of this Congress. For many of you, this was the first experience of presenting research in the research forum. You did the good confidence and clarity academic integrity. We are proud of you. The special word thanks goes to our compeers, Mr. Buddhisa Veerasurya and Ms. Jennifer Adama, for guiding today this program so gracefully. And finally, to all the contributors in different ways and your effort to support us in different capacity. Thank you very much to all the members and all the supporters. Ladies and gentlemen, URCFA 2025 mark a significant milestone not only for our students but for the Faculty of Arts itself. Through this platform, we are amplified the voice of the young researchers, open new academic pathway, and strengthen our commitment to the fostering research culture at the undergraduate level. On behalf of the entire organizing committee, thank you all once again for your patience and for your presence, your participation, and your continued support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, with the conclusion of our inaugural session and the expression of our heartfelt gratitude, we begin on a journey of knowledge and collaboration here at the Undergraduate Research Congress 2025.
Let our collective spirit of exploration and innovation guide us through the exciting journey that lies ahead in this Congress. We thank you for gracing this occasion with your presence, and we look forward to the enlightening sessions ahead.
With that being said, please rise for the national anthem.
Sri Lanka Mata, Upper Sri Lanka, Namo, 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 Namo Mata. Sri Parini, Surani Ati Sumanagalam. Sri Lanka, Namo, 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 Upaya Apabhidya, Upaya Apasatya, Upaya Apashanti, Apavanya Kulabhakti, Apahanuki, Apahi Anuprani, Apajivanami, Apamuktiyaupadi, Apajivanami, Nitida Apapurukalmana, Jnanavira Premavada Samaveta Sri Lanka, Namo, Namo, Namo,
Thank you. Please note that there is a designated area for refreshments for the invitees at the pillared area of the main arts building, where you can enjoy a selection of treats and beverages. And for the students, you will be receive your refreshments when you leave the arts theatre premises.
I encourage all attendees to participate in their respective technical sessions, which will commence at 11:15. We look forward to engage discussions, and at the same time, I hope all of you have a great day ahead. Thank you.